Hi, Randy here from Post Road Art Center, and we have just received a mystery box from Golden with a project inside, and we're going to check it out. So, looks like we're going to be making some acrylic skins. I've always known you could make them, but I've never really known what to do with them, so we'll find out. Looks like we have some instructions and some plastic, and we have semi-gloss regular gel, clear tar gel, palette knife, glass bead gel, fiber paste. We have some more soft gel gloss. I think we already had that. Oh no, we had semi-gloss. So the gloss. We've got a little chip brush, some colors. We've got fluid. We've got fluid paint and high flow paint and heavy paint and lots of plastic and board. So let's find out what we can do with this. Okay, there's several different steps here. Now that I've read the instructions, we're going to create a firm working surface, and several of these skins are going to be two-step processes. So we're actually going to start with the skin number 4 in their examples. So we're going to squirt some interference violet out onto this board. It doesn't really say how much, so we'll see how this goes. And we're going to just spread it around, and the instructions said to let some of the plastic show. So we don't want to completely cover the sheet, and just let some plastic show through. So this is this is the first step in project number 4. So I'm going to set this aside now and see what happens. The next one we're setting up here is for exercise number 5. It's another two-step skin. And if I can get this in, it's just some shirt board inside of a regular old plastic school sleeve. We're going to just squirt some of this high flow carbon black matte onto this. I hope it's open. Let's see if they have it sealed up. They do. So just going to make a little, whoops, I think I thought it's a little dried out. Oh, wow, this will be good. Okay. I don't like to get dirty. Those of you who know me are freaking out for me. Okay, what's going on? Here we go. We're going crazy. Okay. All right. That is step 1 of exercise number 5. So now the third two-step skin that we're making is for exercise number 6. We're going to set this up. We're going to be using a fiber paste, one of my personal favorites. We've got the fiber paste and the same carbon matte black, and we're going to make a skin out of that and carbon black, about that much it said. Maybe we'll do a little more. And now we're going to mix this up. And then I'm just going to spread it across the sheet. Doesn't really say much more than that, so we'll see what we end up with there. And that is step 1 of exercise number 6, and we're going to set that aside to dry. Okay, now we're ready to do a complete skin, exercise number 1. We're going to take some soft gel gloss and we're going to squirt it out. Woo! comes right out. And then we're going to take some glass bead gel, which is really cool stuff. We're going to squirt a bunch of that out. I'm going to put a little more because I like it. And then we're going to mix that up with our handy dandy palette knife. And once we have that all looking smooth, I think it's mixed. We're just going to put a very tiny amount, and I forgot again to open this up. Ooh, oh, got myself dirty again. Ah. Just going to put one little drop of this magenta in. Okay, I put in 2. I'm going to mix it up. Until we have the uniform color, which seems boring. I kind of want to let it be, well, that'll be for next time. We're going to follow the directions this time and then get creative on the next bunch. We're just going to spread this around and create a solid bit of color. And not sure, since I've never done this before, what I'm going for, but I think I will do, I don't like this palette knife. In the next exercise, I'm going to take a palette knife from my collection instead of using this one they gave me. All right, I'm going to call that, I'm going to call it done. Okay, now exercise number 2 is also one step. Got my board ready, and it seems awfully simple. One more time. We didn't open it. Oh, it doesn't have to be open. So this we're just supposed to squeeze a line of that out, and then we're supposed to just create that. Simple. I can't help myself. I'm going to make another one. Ooh. All right. Okay. Now we're on exercise number 3, and we're going to take the clear tar gel, one of my favorite mediums, although I never use it in the intended way. I usually use it in my own very special way for another time. So here we're going to take the clear tar gel, and we're going to add a very small amount of phthalo blue, and we're going to mix it in. Ooh, nice. Nice. Then, one of the things that clear tar gel is meant to do is make your paint really stringy. Think Jackson Pollock. So, we're going to take it and we're going to dribble it around onto the plastic. Of course, I've never done this before, so see how this goes. Thinking I should go a little slower, get something a little thicker. It's gonna be delicate trying to pick this up. Not sure how I feel about this, but we're just going to go with it. And might as well use it all. All right, we're just gonna call this done. We're gonna set it aside to dry, and then we're gonna see what's up. We might have to wait a while for everything to dry to go to the next step. Okay, so earlier we made this interference step 1 of this board, and it has the interference violet on it, I think. And we're going to now put over it some carbon black fluid, and we're going to allow it to dry. So we're just going to squirt that on and spread it around. I'm going to put a little more on. I said more. Completely covering what we did earlier with the interference violet. Now we're going to set that aside and let that dry. We're going to take a look at the exercise number 5 that we started earlier as well, and do the next step on that. And if you'll remember, it looked like this. And this one, we're going to take the heavy-bodied white, and we're going to do the same thing to this one as we did to the interference violet, and create this. And I will use this knife to spread that around. We're going to completely cover it. And it's not my favorite knife, as I think I mentioned. But need some more. What happens? Okay. Oops. Using the whole thing. I hope we don't need any more. All right, now the last one that we did yesterday, which was exercise number 6, we used the fiber paste. I'm going to set this aside to dry. We used the fiber paste and we painted that on here and kind of seal it. And this, we got to get our palette back here. We are going to scumble the ultraviolet, the interference violet onto it. So I'm going to squirt that onto my palette and take this brush that they gave us, and not too much, just going to try and get the texture of the fiber paste to come through, create something interesting here. Oops. Okay, so Pretty happy with that. And we'll come back when all this is dry and see what we do next. Hi, we're back again, and everything has had a chance to dry, and it took a little longer than I thought it would, but we've peeled up a few of these and I'm setting them aside. And peeling, it takes a little while to get them started, but once you start peeling them up, you can see what we got. In a good spot. Yep. And it's pretty interesting. So I guess I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do with these. The next step after peeling them up is to, wow, that's cool, create a collage with them. So I think once you try a bunch of things, the next time around we can get a...
So what did you do with that blue one that...
Oh, this blue one here, thank you, Kara. When I started peeling it up in the example that we did, it was just to pour and drip the blue. But as I tried to pull it up, it just was like a bunch of tiny little delicate strings. So I painted some clear gel over it, clear gloss gel that they had given me. They didn't tell me to do it, but it made it so I could just peel it up. I think it worked out good. And this was a, I goofed up at some point along here, so I just kind of played with it to make a random one. And we'll see if we use it or not. Okay, so now I'm going to just take the foam core board that they gave me. Maybe it's gator board, it feels really firm. And try to create a collage by laying some of these things on top of each other. And I'm going to just play with some ideas, and then we can cut them, we can not cut them, and design something cool. And then we're just going to use the, I think they gave me soft gel to glue it down with. So we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I've given this a little bit of thought, not a lot of thought, and we're going to take some soft gel gloss, and we're using that as our glue. It's great for all kinds of glues, and it's also great for varnishing your acrylics. Oops, that's squirted way over here. So we're just going to paint some of this on, and if you've worked with acrylics, you know it's going to dry really fast on us. But let's just put some on, and I'm going to try and work a little faster here. Oops. And we're going to take this, I suppose we could probably stretch this and things like that, but I'm just going to start placing some of these on, squishing them down. Feels really cool. And I love, I think my favorite part might be just be these really wonderful edges that have been created by this stuff. And because it's the same material, we can just put it right on our skin, and it's really not going to make any difference in the look, I don't think. Could be wrong. It's my first time. It's just, ooh, that's fun with the bumpy texture of that. That's great. This one here is really wonderful too. I think this just might be my favorite one. If I'm correct, this is the black paint with the fiber paste and then that iridescent over it. Love it. In fact, it's not too late. Well, we'll just go with it. Let's see. Just, bye, Kira. Say goodbye to Kira. See what I do while she's gone. Alright. Okay. I think I will put this in here. And this really cool kind of stick together here. Over like so. Fun. And oh, I think this would be really pretty underneath here. So we'll do that. Oops. What is going on? And kind of torn about whether we cover. Let's cover. Let's do that. Cover a little bit of that. Oh, that's really pretty. Cover it up. I think that gold stripe just really makes a great statement. Now, as I'm looking at this, we still have this, I like to cover everything, and this was not my favorite. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to carefully flip this over and I'm going to slice off some of these. Kind of rip a little bit. Doesn't cut as easily, or my knife might be dull. So I think I'm gonna take a break and go get a sharper knife to trim this up. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, it always pays to have a sharp blade, and I changed my tabletop so I won't mind cutting into it. It really will help a lot, I think. So there's one. Oh yeah, there's two. Okay, so I'm thinking that the possibilities are endless with this, because now, I mean, we could do more skins, we could paint on it, we could do whatever we wanted, but I think I'm just going to add a little. Wow, you can see that there, it's so cool. I think I'm going to see if I can get this. It's already glued down, I think. Level, so y'all can see. Taking that. I might like. Add some more blue over here. With some overlap. Maybe a little pink. A little blue. Push and see some of that texture coming through with the bead gel. Cool. And just maybe we'll do, I don't know that this will show up once I put a fancy frame on it, just in case. Cover up a little of that white. There. And yikes. See through. So now as we look at our composition, thinking that maybe, as I see it, not sure how I see it yet, but maybe just a tad of white over here. Finish this off. Well, that's got some glue on it. And we'll use this section. Okay. Let me get this trimmed up and see what we think. Yikes. All right, so I don't know about that. This doesn't really bother me much. It's coming off. So now I think I will put a clear coat of varnish over it. I hope they gave me enough. I'm giving it a little texture since the whole thing has so much texture. Just going with it. Stitch more. All right, well, I look forward to playing with this technique more, and I will share with you what I do. And when this dries, we'll post a picture. And thanks for watching.